Okay, and now get ready for my great friend Katherine Xu. Katie is a 7th grader at the Sharon Middle School. Her hobbies include drawing, swimming at the Sharon Eagle swim team, and playing tennis. Occasionally, she goes to the Wapple swim team for practice. In her spare time, Katie likes to read and play computer games. Let's welcome Katie.
Hello, my name is Katherine Xu. I am a 7th grader at the Sharon Middle School in Sharon, Massachusetts. I would like to thank Janelle for her amazing speech on protecting animals from game hunters. I agree that we should all try and do the same to protect animals from cruelty. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Before I begin my speech, I would like to ask everyone a question. How does a cheetah change its spots?
Move and walk.
Yeah. By moving! The young lady in the pretty dress said, by moving. That is the correct answer. This summer, my family and I moved to a new house. Today, I am going to be talking about my experience moving. I'll start by splitting my speech into 3 parts. My first part is about my thoughts on moving. My second part is about the days during moving. And my third part is about how moving affects kids. It was March when I first heard the possibility of moving in the summer. When I found out, I was completely shocked. My sister's expression, however, was much more severe. Her face turned a bright red, and she kept complaining on and on and on about how she didn't want to move, and how moving was bad for her, and how she would move, no matter what. She kept complaining, until my parents promised to buy her new bedroom furniture, once we'd settled into the house. I was really shocked about moving, and the reason was because I liked my old house. I didn't want to move anywhere else. I would miss a lot of things in my old house, especially the memories that were inside. I would miss playing around in our massive backyard in the spring. I would miss the swing set in our backyard where we would swing around all day in the summer. In the fall, I'd miss jumping into a big pile of golden leaves. And in the winter, attempting to make snowmen and igloos. I was also really worried about packing. I had several toys and books from kindergarten and preschool, and I didn't want to throw them away. The reason I didn't want to throw them away was because I felt as if each book and toy was part of my memories. In the days before the scheduled moving day, I started to pack, or rather, I tried to start to pack. I had so many things, I didn't really know where to start. My desk had millions and millions of drawers. Each drawer held its own individual items. One drawer was filled with my erasers, pens, pencils, and lots more. Another drawer held all my origami that I had made in my spare time. A third drawer hid all my valuables, such as my state quarter collection, my jewelry, and my wallet. I also had to pack my whole entire wardrobe. My bookshelf was crammed with nonfiction, fantasy, and mystery-based books. Somehow, I had to pack everything into only a couple of boxes provided by my parents. Can you imagine packing your whole room into only a couple of boxes? Yes. I couldn't either. That's when my parents suggested that I throw away or donate anything that I didn't need. Just as I suspected. Eventually, I threw away several things and donated a lot to other places, just so I could fit everything into those couple of boxes. The moving day was very chaotic. As I was searching around my room for any other belongings that I needed to put in my boxes, my sister dragged 2 gigantic bags down the stairs. I don't really know how she did it. And my parents directed all the movers to carry our furniture to the gigantic moving truck in the driveway. The temperature, unfortunately, was over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the absolute worst if you're trying to move. Eventually, our house was empty. As I was looking among the rooms, I felt as if all my happy memories, along with my belongings and my furniture, had vanished. Now I will talk about my third point, which is how moving affects kids. To help me find some answers, I did a little research. I learned that one reason most kids do not want to move is because they dislike moving away from familiar friends and a familiar school. They fear moving away from a house they have grown up in and associated with family, love, and safety. The thought of those no longer existing in a child's world can be quite frightening. Luckily, I only had to move within the town, so I got to keep all my friends and go to the same school, since Sharon only has one middle school. I had experienced moving to a different school before. That was when I was in 4th grade. I had to move from Cottage Street Elementary School to East Elementary School due to mandatory school redistriction. I was feeling sad about leaving my old friends and really scared to attend a new school with unfamiliar faces. This time, however, I only had to move to a new house. This time I only had to move to a new house, but in the same town. I still felt very nervous though, because I had to adjust to the new surroundings and the new routine. One last reason that most kids do not like moving is because they feel as if they don't have any control over the situation whatsoever. That is very true, as my parents never mentioned a word to me about moving until the decision had been decided. Isn't that right, Mom and Dad? Yes. Now I would like to summarize my speech. Today I talked about my thoughts on moving, the days during moving, and how moving affects kids. I'd like to say this important message. Moving is very exhausting. However, if you look on the bright side, it's also a very good experience. You get to meet new people and make new friends. You get to see another place, even if it's within the town. Moving is actually a type of change. Change may be unavoidable, but the experience is valuable. Thank you for listening to my speech.